Mental health issues can happen to any one of us. It is not a sign of being weak. Some of the strongest people in this world, people who are doing exceptionally well, people who come from very good backgrounds, have also come out and said that they have struggled with mental health issues. There are CEOs, there are actors, there are people from prominent families, there are people who have done exceptionally well in sports. There are doctors who have reported issues of mental health. So, let the myth get out of your head completely. If you need help, period. That's all. Because you have to understand that mental health conditions can be created by underlying biological issues like chemical imbalances in the body. It could be your hormones, it could be your neurotransmitters. There are so many such underlying causes which are very biological. In fact, if there are people who have fallen ill repeatedly, or if you get some chronic issues, illness, etc., then also you can develop some associated mental health issues. If you've gone through trauma, if you've gone through losses, if you're undergoing bereavement and because you've lost someone very, very close to you in life, you can go through these challenges. There are people who come from war-torn areas, people who have gone through natural calamities, who have experienced periods like COVID, like many of us have done that. So, mental health issue is not a taboo. And in today's modern world, when people are running around so much, there is so much on our plate. We have to manage career, finances, family, pressures of the environment, weather, our own health. It is just possible for these things to happen. So that's the first part of what I want to say to you, that if you have a challenge, seek out help and go get things done for yourself. Number one. Number two, in today's modern world, from the psychiatrists out there to Ayurvedacharyas to homeopaths to other natural therapists to psychotherapists to counselors, there are so many people who can help you with different aspects of mental health issues. There are times that with a mental health issue, you will need some amount of medicinal support, and which is where your psychiatrist will come into picture, or the Ayurvedacharya or the homeopaths can come into picture. There are aspects of your own life and rejuvenation which you will need to get done, which is where natural therapists, people who do pranic healing, Reiki, naturopathy, they will help you. Even yoga therapists can help you. Then there are aspects of your own behavior, how you cope with the world, how you understand, how you perceive the world, how you respond to the world. And that's where therapists and counselors can help you with some very, very deep practices. So that's the second thing that you need to take with yourself, that if you need help in today's world, help is absolutely available. A lot of that has been studied, researched, and people are today very adept at managing. Human behavior, human brain is complex, human life is complex. Everyone may not have all the answers. In fact, collectively, we may not have all the answers. But all you need to remember is today we have some answers. From medicines to herbs to practices, there is enough and more that can help you. So keep this in mind, and yet again, please understand, anyone can seek this help. It's not just the weak who need help. Like I said, even the strongest of the strong break down. The third thing that I want you to remember is how you manage your life has a lot which dictates whether you develop some mental health issue or not at some point in time. And even if you were great at managing your life, even then, the flow of life is such that you could get into a point where your mind might not be able to tackle everything that your life is throwing at you. So it is natural. So even in the natural flow of life, this can happen. And for those of you who are interested in Jyotish or Anka Shastra, which is numerology, or Vastu, there are aspects of our life, our own Jatak, our own numbers, our own Vastu, that the place that we work in, they stay in, that can also impact our well-being, and definitely the mental well-being. So that's the other aspects which is completely out of our control. These are things which are destined to happen in life. Yet again, seek the help of an experienced person, a spiritual guru, a Jyotishacharya, a numerologist, a Vastu expert, who can also then guide you. But this section is for those of you who are really interested in that. I know many of you raise your eyebrows on concepts like these, but these are great gifts of the Indian tradition, of the Bharatiya Sanskriti, of the Vedic Paddhatis that we must learn from and benefit from. The last thing that I want to leave with you is, again, coming back to our own Bharatiya Sanskriti. And this is where our spiritual practices are so important. So while in the first 3 parts that I shared with you, what I shared was it can happen to anyone, but what do? Now, one of the best methods that I would recommend that you do is you cultivate your own spiritual intelligence and emotional intelligence. And how do you go about doing that in a very, very deep way? And that's where our own Vedic practices come in. Many gurus have said this, that the Adhyayan of the Upanishads, the Adhyayan of Bhagavad Gita, the Adhyayan of the Brahma Sutras has deep reverence and relevance. So for those of you who follow the Sanatana Dharma or the Hindu practices, these are great ways of doing that. For others who may practice other religions, but you still want to expose yourselves to these practices, you can definitely gain a lot from this. But besides that, the practices of Ashtanga Yoga, very deeply anchoring. And then you have other acts like the Bhakti Yoga, the Raja Yoga, Sahaja Yoga. You have so many methods. In fact, there are brilliant gurus in our times today where we live in, like Sri Ravi Shankar, who have brought the art of living to us. There are people like Sadhguru Yogaraj Mangeshda who talk about the Kriya Yoga traditions. So these are things that you should learn from. These are things that you should work with. And these are things which will help you develop that capability to really anchor down your life and understand what you can do to build your inner strength. In our Vedic system, it is said that the Charitra Nirman that you do can have a lot of impact on the way you live your life. So there are definitely solutions for you if you have mental health issues, and you also have ways, or as they say, paddhatis in our own Hindu Sanskriti, in our own Bharatiya Sanskriti, which you can use to develop your capability so that you can to some degree be immune and also have the resilience to bounce back and do things.